Here I have a question from Komal Kalra. What's the biggest challenge you have faced in your career as a chef? Oh, that's a small question, but I think it will take a long chat to ever finish that. I think challenges are something which I would rather use the word, instead of challenge, I would rather use the word, what are the biggest lessons? And I feel that I always tell that, in life, the biggest change in your life doesn't come from the nights you sleep. It comes from those sleepless nights. And those are the biggest learning lessons. And I think for me, the biggest learning lesson was when I had come to US, to a foreign land. As I don't call myself a stranger that time, I call myself strangerer with E-R-E-R. Like I was so strange to the culture and the people in the country and the beliefs and the structure of this nation that I felt that I was so different from where I come from, a small town in North India, Amritsar. But eventually I figured out that if I have to be accepted here in United States of America as a chef, first thing which I need to do is, the last thing which I need to do is that I have to be so honest to what I do. I have to be just the way I used to cook. I do not have to be changing the way I said, for the most beautiful people in the world is the people who are most organic in some forms. I remember I was traveling in a train once and this wonderful Sikh person is sitting next to me and I was just beginning. Biggest lesson was that he asked me, what do you do? I said, I'm a cook. I said, I'm a bawarchi in my language. And he says, oh, don't worry, keep working hard. This is America. It's a good country. Eventually, you'll find a respectable job. And I started laughing. I said, I have never done anything else in my life. This is the only job or this is the only profession I know. He's saying, and he asked me, where do you learn how to cook? I said, I learned how to cook from the Golden Temple and my grandmother's kitchen. And he was quite elderly, my grandfather's age. And he held my hand and says, cook. Because your food is not just a food, it's prasad, which means it's a spiritual nourishment for soul. Because where you start from, you can't get more sacred than from your beginning is. So my biggest lesson was that to understand that I have something which is very honorable, something which is important to me, and something which will make me go further, is just being myself. I think that was the biggest lesson I learned over the years. I have a next question from Mangala Chinnappa. Hello. Hi, this is Vikas. And the question is, Vikas, today you're one of the most famous chefs, but you still have not forgotten your roots and you're very humble. How do you keep yourself so calm and always smiling? It's not true. You have to see me in the kitchen. Many times I'm not smiling. But the problem is, my kitchen is all open. So a lot of people respond to, if they are seeing that I'm stressed out, if you're feeding so many people on such a high volume, always so focused on quality and the dining experience. And yes, but most of the time I keep myself very calm. I have figured out that you take better balance, you take more control of yourself and the situation if you're balanced. And if you're calm, you always make the most correct decision. Sometimes when you lose your temper, you make the best decision for yourself. But when you're calm, your decisions are more integral. That's what I use the word. You're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the restaurant, you're thinking about the staff, and most importantly, you're thinking about the guest. So I think when you're calm, you can look at all the four corners extremely well. North, east, west, south. These are the four important corners which when you're angry, you just look at yourself. You only understanding your own anger and you're responding to that. So I think being calm, I think it's a gift from my mother, and who's an extremely calm woman. But understanding where I come from, she's so simple and her questions have always been so honest when she asked me. And I really don't know that you asked this thing that you're one of the most famous chefs in the world. I do not know if that is a title or what it is. It's more important to be useful than to be famous. It's very important to be telling a story of your profession, of your country. And and I feel if being famous helps, then it's okay, But eventually your most important is if you're useful. And I hope and pray that with all this love and support you guys give me, that I can be useful to the society. I can be useful to any form of cultural history which will be written in the world, of saying that, I told the story of my people, my country, my people, everything I did through food. So I think if being a chef helped me for that, I'm very proud.